Sports poetry, an introduction. It is human nature to create and compete. Both of these are brought together in sport. Many games began in distant eons and gradually adapted and became codified to those we know today. In this volume we celebrate, through the verse of so many well-known poets, sports of all kinds, sports for the rich, sports for the poor, and all manner in between. As Henry Newbolt would say, play up, and play the game. Our collection is read by many, including Richard Mitchley and Ghizela Rowe.
Vitae Lampada by Henry Newbolt. There's a breathless hush in the close tonight, 10 to make and the match to win, a bumping pitch and a blinding light, an hour to play and the last man in. And it's not for the sake of a ribboned coat or the selfish hope of a season's fame, but his captain's hand on his shoulder smote, play up, and play the game. The sand of the desert is sodden red, red with the wreck of a square that broke, the Gatlings jammed and the colonel dead, and the regiment blind with dust and smoke. The river of death has brimmed its banks, and England's far, an honour, a name, but the voice of a schoolboy rallies the ranks. Play up, and play the game. This is the word that year by year, while in her place the school is set, every one of her sons must hear, and none that hears it dare forget. This they all with a joyful mind bear through life like a torch in flame, and falling fling to the host behind. Play up, and play the game.
Wrestling by Louisa Sarah Bevington. Our oneness is the wrestlers, fierce and close, thrusting and thrust. Our life in dual effort for one prize, we fight and must. For soul with soul does battle evermore, till love be trust. Our distance is love's severance. Sense divides, each is but each. Never the very hidden spirit of thee my life doth reach. Twain, since we love athwart the gulf that needs kisses and speech. Ah, wrestled closelier, we draw nearer so than any bliss can bring twain souls who would be whole and one, too near to kiss. To be one thought, one voice before we die, wrestle for this. The Bay Horse by Arthur Conan Doyle. Squire wants the bay horse, for it is the best. Squire holds the mortgage, where's the interest? Haven't got the interest, can't raise a sou, shan't sell the bay horse, whatever he may do. Did you see the bay horse? Such a one to go. He took a bit of riding when I showed him at the show. First prize the broad jump, first prize the high, gold medal, class A, you'll see it by and by. I bred the bay horse on the Withy farm. I broke the bay horse, he broke my arm. Don't blame the bay horse, blame the brittle bone. I bred him and I fed him, and he's all my very own. Just watch the bay horse, chock full of sense. Ain't he just beautiful, rising to a fence? Just hear the bay horse, whinning in his stall, purring like a pussy cat when he hears me call. But if Squire's lawyer serves me with his writ, I'll take the bay horse to Marley gravel pit. Over the quarry edge I'll sit him tight. If he wants the brown hide, he's welcome to the white.
When Winchester Races. When Winchester Races first took their beginning, it is said the good people forgot their old saint, not applying at all for the leave of St. Swithin, and that William of Wykeham's approval was faint. The races, however, were fixed and determined. The company came and the weather was charming. The lords and the ladies were satined and ermined, and nobody saw any future alarming. But when the old saint was informed of these doings, he made but one spring from his shrine to the roof of the palace which now lies so sadly in ruins, and then he addressed them all standing aloof. O subjects rebellious, O venter depraved, when once we are buried you think we are gone, but behold me immortal. By vice you're enslaved, you have sinned and must suffer. Turn further, he said. These races and revels and dissolute measures, with which you're debasing a neighbouring plain, let them stand. You shall meet with your curse in your pleasures, set off for your course. I'll pursue with my reign. Ye cannot but know my command or July. Henceforward I'll triumph in shewing my powers. Shift your race as you will it, shall never be dry. The curse upon Venter is July in showers.
A Football Player by E.C. Lefroy. If I could paint you, friend, as you stand there, guard of the goal, defensive, open-eyed, watching the tortured bladder slide and glide under the twinkling feet, arms bare, head bare, the breeze a-tremble through crow-tufts of hair, red-brown in face, and ruddier having spied a wily foeman breaking from the side, aware of him, of all else unaware. If I could limn you as you leap and fling your weight against his passage like a wall, clutch him and collar him, and rudely cling for one brief moment, till he falls, you fall. My sketch would have what art can never give, sinew and breath and body, it would live.